Hi Rita, it's your turn. I'm looking at your drawing now. Um, we're going to start here with our elevation. Um, it looks like it's the right size. As I mentioned in Alyssa's video, you're going to want to go ahead and draw in the lines for the door swing here. And you'll want to match properties to this line right here. Okay, so you have that nice hidden line. It looks good. Okay, but we aren't seeing any of the hidden lines right now. So let's take a look at this. Okay, as I've mentioned before, you need to make sure that all of these things read by layer because we want to control all of our object properties by the layer that they're on. Okay, so that makes a lot of things easy. I'm going to go through right now and I'm going to do a select all, Control A, just like we do in all Windows programs, and then I'm going to change everything to by layer. And that should fix a lot of things, okay? There we go. Okay, we'll just ignore that little notice because it has nothing to do with what we're doing right now. Okay, let's go in here and we're going to zoom window in around here and take a look at your dimensions on things. And we're going to do that using inquiry tools, and I type because I'm a fogey, but we've already discussed this, right? Okay, so from that endpoint to here, not quite precise, but nominally 2'10". From that endpoint straight down, 3'6" precisely. Very good. Okay, let's zoom in around this a little bit more. You've got a little bit. What's this? Okay, these should all be trimmed cleanly. I should not see any overlap here at all. It should all be absolutely perfect and clean. Okay, so trim all those off. Zoom in as close as you have to do it. That's why we have a zoom command. Well, let's go ahead and look at this one too at the bottom while we're at it. Yeah, we have the same problem here. Okay, some don't extend all the way, some need to be trimmed. Make that happen. Okay, pick a line. Okay, and make it happen. Nice thing about the extend command is if you look here, it says shift select to trim, so you don't have to go into the trim command. You can just shift. Come on, where's the end? And click. And you can trim while you're using the extend command. So one command, just take care of all of these. Click, go over here and get your pan hand. Trim. Okay, what was that? Okay, come on. Trim, I don't know why that one's not trimming. That's weird. Let's zoom in closer to make sure we're getting it. Huh. Okay, fine. If something's not cooperating with you, use grips to back it up, okay? Some people do all their drafting like this. I prefer to use trim and stuff, but I didn't have grips to start with. What is going on here? Looks like you might have more than one line there. Let's find out. I've got the erase. Ooh, I've got 5 lines there. Okay, we don't want that. That's just like in SketchUp, if we have multiple things overlaying each other, it makes the drawing bigger than what it needs to be. So how do I get rid of them? What we can do here is, it says select objects. Pointing with my finger doesn't help you. It says select objects right here. Okay, well that's great. I've selected objects. Now I don't want to erase all those objects. If I type the letter R and hit enter, it'll say remove objects. And so I can go in here and I can just click on one of them. And see, it says down here, 1 found, 1 removed. Now there are 4 left in the selection set. Okay, well I want to erase the other 4. So there I go. I erased them. And now I'm going to make sure this one that I kept goes all the way up and down. And it does. I circled here, this isn't connecting cleanly. You need to come back and fillet this. Come on. Okay, just Make sure all those things are nice and clean, because if they don't, they make your drawing look sloppy, and that's not who you are. Okay, likewise, look at this. Okay, this is not the way this should be. Just erase this, click here, and just use your grips to drag it out over here, even with that one. And let's go ahead and match properties to that one. What do you say? Ah, that's better. Okay, so do a little cleaning up, really zoom in close so you can really see. And I'm just using my mouse wheel to zoom back and forth. I'm sure you figured that out. Okay, now let's deal with the other weird problem, which is the line type scale issue. So I'm going to just type LT scale, again, or 1. Okay, so that's better. Ah! Yeah, all these circles I drew, I guess it was on the insulation line type when I did that. Okay, so now that's looking better. Okay, now let's go over here and see what's up with this. Okay, that's by layer. Okay, so I need a little bit more information here. So I need to open the regular properties box. I need the entire properties box. So I'm gonna, come on, where are you? I must have it docked someplace. Okay, well, I don't know where I've got it docked. So I'm going to just type in DDCH opens the properties box. Okay, so I'm going to look at this. Let's see here. The line type scale is 0.3. Okay, I know that Rochelle said 0.3 in the video. Sometimes this line type is really wonky, and it doesn't want to function quite right. So sometimes I just experiment with different scales until I get it to fit right. Okay, and literally, I am just experimenting. I don't know why it does this. Oops, how about 0.08? That's better. Okay, but you're not going to be able to necessarily have all those things memorized. You might have them memorized for certain wall thicknesses, but not necessarily for all of them. So don't be afraid just to open the properties box and change the line type scale until you get it where you need it. There's no shame in that. That's frankly the way I do it most of the time. Why it's that way, I have no idea. But once you get one that works, okay, go get your match properties. Okay, and grab hold of him. You're going to zoom close because this is a line, so you need to get this little piece in the line here. And then you're going to have to do the same thing here. You're going to have to grab hold of it by the line part. Ah, that's better, isn't it? Okay, so you can fix that. Sheathing there, that looks good. This looks good. As I told the others, if you're going to put this in your portfolio, you really need to come in here and add the drywall on the inside. It's just 1/2 inch thick. Click. Click. Okay. And then we can just fill it up. And that looks so pretty, doesn't it? Okay, so now that's a little better. Oh, this is a P line. You don't want that to go all the way around. So let's go ahead and get rid of the rest of this P line. And I'm just going to grip it back. I could trim it. I could do a lot of different things with it, but I'm just going to grip it back. And actually, you don't want this piece of line here on the end either, so I'm just going to trim him off too. No, I'm not. I'm just going to tell you you don't need him, and you need to explode this. Explode like that. And get rid of it, just like that. Okay, because this goes on back further. There isn't really a line there, so you don't need it there. To my taste, these are a little large. If you were in my office, I'd make them half the size, but since they're not a block anymore, that's kind of hard to scale. So I'm going to scale it around the midpoint here, and I'm going to scale it by 1/2. That's a little better. It's honestly just an aesthetic thing for me. You don't have to do it if you like the size of them. Go ahead and make these the white layer. Okay, continue offsetting that drywall on down the wall. Okay, right here. It's going to be there too. You're missing your sheathing here. Okay, so whatever dimension this is, this looks like it's about 3/4 of an inch. You know, this is interesting. I probably would go ahead and put this inside line. I'm looking for the match properties again. I would go ahead and put this inside line on that layer too, so that it's got a little bit more thickness. And then when we're down here, offset it. Somehow that line got erased. Okay. Didn't offset the distance I thought it would. That's okay. I'm just going to move it to where you've got it. Okay, so then do match properties again. Okay, make sure these all extend to your break lines. I'm typing extend. You can find extend wherever it might be. Okay, so I choose the break line so that it extends to the break line, and then that looks nice and neat. You've got your double header here. I would go ahead and put in some floor thickness for the material for the floor just to make it look good. Hey, what's this? Let's look at our section again. Oh, it does show that going through. That's really interesting. Not sure what that double line is supposed to represent, but that's okay. You've drawn it exactly as you were shown it. But you do need to go ahead and show, they may have put a piece of 1/2-inch plywood on the bottom of that joist in order to provide a little bit more acoustical isolation or to provide more rigidity, depending on how big the structure is or something else. It's a little unusual, but there are reasons to do that. Okay, and then once again, we're going to come back in here and we're going to match our properties for our insulation. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so you know what to do with this top piece. Go ahead and get your drywall in. Go ahead and get your floor thickness in. Let's keep on going down. This is looking pretty good, as I've said to the others. I like the fact that you cut this out here. As I said to the others, I would either erase this line or I would put it on the def points layer so it does not print. Okay, one or the other. And okay, this line here, what have you got going? Okay, this one needs to be filleted right here to this one. Okay, so you've got 2 lines here and you don't need this one. Okay, I would make this one on the hatch layer because really what you've got there is you've got the ground kind of dug in a trench. You don't have a solid cut line there. You do have one here, and then this is your crawl space. Okay, I think you're well on your way. I think you've just got some issues with the line type scale. Let's double check the LT scale here. That looks good. Let's double check this. That looks good. Okay, so work from there, and I am out of time. So keep it up. You're coming along. Thank you so much for all your hard work. I know you're really working with this hard.